Every cut is progress. Every fallen log is a victory over nature. This channel celebrates the strength, skill, and courage of real loggers. This isn't just a job, it's passion in motion. Welcome to the world of Wood Channel. In a dense forest, a group of workers wearing protective gear and helmets were using steel chainsaws to cut into the trunk of a large diameter tree. The saw blades roared, digging deep into the thick wood, sending sawdust flying. The tree shook, then slowly fell to the ground amid the echoes of the forest, a breathtaking and powerful moment. In the large garden, workers use a chainsaw with a long bar to trim large branches, then switch to cutting straight into the tree trunk. Each cut is neat. Sawdust falls on the green grass. A colossal log stands tall in the forest, a monument to time and nature's raw strength. But then, the chainsaw roars, a piercing sound that slices through the silence. Its blade meets the wood, sawdust bursts forth, swirling in the air like a sudden storm. What once seemed immovable and unshakable now yields. Even the strongest tree must surrender to the cold, relentless bite of the saw, masterfully wielded by human hands. Nature, for a moment, bows to man's precision and power. The giant crane stretched its muscular arms through the foliage, holding the suspended tree trunk. Each heavy log was cut off and lifted with incredible force and precision. In a forest blanketed with snow, the ground lies silent and untouched, like a blank canvas. The lumberjack stands firm in the cold, his chainsaw gripped tightly, its gleaming blade waiting for the call to action. A measuring tape hangs at his waist, a symbol of precision and experience. Every cut is calculated, every movement deliberate. With practiced strength, the saw bites down in exact intervals, each strike placing the blade exactly where it needs to be. Sawdust scatters into the air, and a faint mist rises from the frozen timber as it's sliced in the winter chill. Round, uniform log sections begin to emerge, perfectly spaced, perfectly shaped, the product of discipline, mastery, and a deep respect for the craft. On a steep cliff, a worker used a chainsaw to cut a large tree that was rooted to the side of the cliff. The wind blew hard, sawdust flying everywhere. Each cut was tense and precise. The trees had been cut clean, precise cuts severing them from their roots. But in this dense forest, where tangled branches weave a tight ceiling overhead, the felled trees don't fall freely. They hang suspended awkwardly, snagged on limbs above, as if refusing to surrender. In that moment, man becomes more than a saw operator. He becomes the force that finishes the job through raw strength and will. With ropes, with gloved hands, with sheer determination, they pull, shift, and wrest the log from nature's grasp. Then, with a final tug, the massive trunk crashes to the ground, the echo of its fall a clear message. No matter how stubborn the forest, mankind will find a way through. The razor-sharp chainsaw screams in bursts, echoing through the forest air. It's not just machinery at work, it's the sound of tension rising. The seasoned lumberjack stands firm, eyes sharp, moving toward the towering trunk like a warrior entering the battlefield. Without hesitation, he brings the blade close with cold precision. Bit by bit, he pushes the steel teeth into the aged wood. The trunk begins to crack, exposing pale, fibrous layers as the chain digs deeper. Carefully placed wooden wedges are driven in at just the right moment, not only to prevent the tree from twisting, but to guide the chainsaw with precision and ease. He steps back, assesses, then commits to the final decisive cut. The tree shudders, then, crash, the mighty trunk collapses onto the earth, as if surrendering to the mastery and power of human hands. Tension fills the air as the machine roars to life, its sharp chain blade closing in on the massive old tree. Each cut is a race between man and gravity. Bark fragments fly through the air, and the cracking echoes through the neighborhood. One small mistake, and tons of timber could come crashing down onto a nearby rooftop. With steady hands and nerves of steel, these fearless workers carry out a breathtaking tree-cutting performance, just inches from someone's home. A vibrant green tree stands tall in the clearing, but in a flash, the sharp chainsaw roars to life. The blade bites deep into the base, cold, precise, unstoppable. With just a few powerful cuts, the tree trembles, then crashes down. Clean. Final. It all happens in the blink of an eye. In the middle of the forest, a large tree was smoking, possibly from a lightning strike or a fire at the base. The worker was wearing protective gear, a chainsaw in hand. He made a clean cut into the cracked trunk, white smoke billowing from the rapidly spinning saw blade. A breathtaking operation is underway. A towering tree, just meters from the roof, is being brought down piece by piece under the roar of a chainsaw. The operator holds steady. Every cut must be surgically precise. One tiny mistake, and tons of timber could come crashing down. Watch closely. The critical moment is near. The worker is high above the ground, clinging to the trunk, gripping the roaring chainsaw tightly. Each cut is measured and precise. The sharp blade bites deep into the wood with a powerful screech until, snap, a large section breaks free and drops spectacularly. It's a